So now you have them in front of you. You've noticed their hands. Okay, you've noticed their walk and their talk. And like any other observatory science, you have noticed their body language. Um, and like science, palmistry has changed throughout the years from its original intention and versions. So, like many scientific disciplines in math, science, new techniques have been introduced, and the old methods have kind of been lost in interpretation. So, I will tell you what I know about the right and the left hand. Now, according to ancient teachings, the right hand of the female is the hand that you are dealt, so to speak. The left hand is kind of what you have accumulated with said structure. So, a lot like reading a book, it is start to finish. Some people want the big, long, thorough reading, both hands. And some people, like me, kind of want the quick version, long story short, you know. And there is nothing wrong with that. I personally read the dominant hand of that person, whether it is a male or a female. Okay? It's always worked for me. But the more that you read and the more insight you get, you're going to be able to distinguish which is which for that person. Okay? You got to learn to determine what is relevant. And just like any other science, it's going to change depending rather on the person and the situation, the variables. Okay, like a snowflake, in a way. They say that no snowflakes are alike, but they are basically a different combination of factors that are combined to make a design. And that is kind of the same with hands and with people, blueprints. So, that being said, the deeper you look into someone's hands, the more you're going to find, the more personal it's going to get. And the more personal it gets, the more intrusive it can become. So, we start with our basic major lines, and then we go a little bit deeper. Okay? From there. But before we look into the tassels and the circumstances and the factors that have contributed to this person's development, we first notice curvatures in those major lines. Okay? Meaning, let me switch hands again. When you notice the heart line, does it curve upward? Is it straight? Is it long? Is it short? The differences between a curved line, a short line, and a faded line is someone who is, for example, romantic, someone who skips through relationships, or someone who falls in love very easily and is able to express themselves. So there are three big differences in one little line right off the bat. The same goes with the headline. If their headline is not as pronounced or prominent as the rest of the lines, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are not smart people or intelligent. It means that they are more active people, and they will be most likely outdoors engaging in sports, stuff that requires physical exertion. Okay? And the same with the headline. The lifeline. If the lifeline is straight, that's someone who's very cautious. If the lifeline is very rounded and curved, it is someone who is just very adventurous and throws caution to the wind. Okay? So at first glance, we notice the shape and the proportions of the hands. And you can tell kind of their personality just by that alone. Okay? Air, fire, earth, water, right? I think that's all. And then we notice the dominant lines. Okay? Is it the heart? Is it the head? And then we can go on from there. Does it curve? Is it straight? Um, and that is all going to be based on experience. The more you read, the better you will get at recognizing the differences. And right away, you put the combinations together, tick, 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 and all of a sudden, you have the workings of an entire individual. Okay? And then you can look a little closer. I see. So you start at the beginning, you go from there. You don't want to dive deep in right away into someone's heart line and look at all their little tassels and all their check marks and stuff and tell them how, wow, screwed up you are. And, you know, that sucks. But so start simple, basic personality, ruler, and then say you want to date this person. I'm going to look at their heart line. Is it very curved? Good, that's someone who's extremely passionate. You know, that's what I want. Or is it very short or is it wavy? This person is probably going to be a short term possibility. Okay?